A lot of times we have habitually let ourselves be carried away in our thoughts. For from within out of the heart of man proceed evil thoughts. We have let those thoughts really be entertainment. And it don't take much whether you're in the bed or on your feet. Am I right? And the thoughts don't even have to make sense, do they? And you don't realize, and I don't realize or understand sometimes how my thought even got to that point, right? Well, see, remember, the devil throws in fiery darts. At the onset, he's willing to burn, baby, burn. Fiery means it's hot, it's heated, it's intense. He starts off intense. He's ready to knock our lives out. He ain't just going to hit you. He's going for the jugular vein. Do you understand? We have become a target for the enemy. You and I that know the word of God are a target for the enemy. For all those that come in, we're in Proverbs 3rd chapter, verse 6. And the problem is, I've got so grown in myself that I don't let God in my business like I ought. Hello? He already knows my business, but I need to share it with him. I share it with him when I'm in trouble, don't I? Huh? Hello? So what come I can't share the rest of it with him? Because he said in what? All thy ways acknowledge him. I only give him part. And a lot of times it's like I do with people. I want them to know the good part, not the bad part. Right? The good points on my resume, not the bad stuff, right? But the whole story proves when I get on the floor what I know and don't, right? I can fake a resume. Hello. I can fake school records. Hello. But when it comes to the application of the job, do I really know this? Huh? I went to school to learn. I took that subject. I took this. But do I know how to really apply it in the real world? Hello? Do you understand? This is not getting behind a game and driving a car like you do in the arcade. This is the real thing. Driving a car in the arcade simulations, they have their point. But when you really get behind the wheel, it's a whole different story, ain't it? Whole different feel. Whole different atmosphere, because now self is taking control completely without the automation of a game that simulates. The devil wants to be a stimulator, but he uses a lot of simulation. Huh? And stimulate us mean he get this flesh where it desires to be entertained, desires to be comforted, desires to be in control and let God be nowhere in sight when we really need him because we're in danger. Do you get it? Huh? A lot of times when you're driving, you don't know the danger that's ahead. Sometimes you don't know it until you see the red lights or caution signs or something. Then you realize, oh man, that's bad. But you would never know it if they didn't have the caution. Right? I was doing a task the other day, and right up the street from me, in this brand new SUV, and I don't know if it was a Mercedes or what, but this person, whoever they were, they backed up from a parking space and didn't look. And they T-boned that new car. Could you imagine what that person felt? What would be one of the things that may have caused that? Did they observe? Did they think? Did they have a blind spot? Well, the way the parking was is this is where the cars parked where they were at. On this other side was cars parked this way. So when they backed out of their space, they should have realized there's cars out there, right? But evidently, they either wasn't paying attention or forgot or assumed that space didn't have a car there. When they T-boned it, they realized it, right? Sometimes we like that too. We see, but we don't see. Sometimes we forget just that quick what is going on. And it cost us big time. It cost us for not paying attention, not listening. I'm guilty of it. And it cost me. It costs you dearly sometimes. And you can't change that if you don't work on changing it. If I don't work on changing it. But God is warning me over and over and over and over again through his word that the times that have been won't be no more. So I need to wake up out of sleep and slumber. I need to start paying attention. Be watchful unto prayer, because your adversary, the devil, is loose like what, Cherie? And he's doing what? Seeking what? Yeah, who he want? And all of us, right? Do you think he's playing like we do? We're playing around with time. But listen, read that 6th verse, Proverbs 3:6 again.
In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path.
Now, listen. He says, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall. What does shall mean? What does it really mean? We use it all the time, don't we? Or we see that word quite often, haven't we? Yeah. But what does it really mean? Shall. You know, kids?
Something should happen.
Say it loud. Something should happen? Is that what you said? He said it means that something should happen. Somebody check it out and tell me. Tell us. Scholars? Huh? That it will happen. Okay. Something should happen, that it will happen. Are they on the right track? Y'all sure? Okay, what does it say then? Shall. All right.
Definition I pulled up says expressing the future tense.
Okay. So they were right? Yeah. Something will happen. Something will happen, whether it's positive or negative. God is trying to make it positive for us, right? So if he shall, that means he knows our future. He knows what's up ahead, the danger, present danger even, to show us and direct us to avert any harm done to us. Is that a good thing? Yeah? But he says we have to acknowledge all our ways. Lord, I don't understand how I really act. Will you show me? Lord, I got some problems with the way I talk to folks. I got some problems the way I think. Whatever it is that you're having a problem with, you know it because God has shown you before. And it keeps you in trouble. Hello? He's saying acknowledge that. Be willing to say, I ain't right with this. It ain't right in me with this issue. This thing called a sin. This thing that's a weight. This thing that keeps dragging me and locking me and keep me in bondage where I can't progress. Listen, it may seem simple, but it ain't. Why? Because it's a problem that's within me that I got to get rid of. That ain't just dropping off. Yes?
Mindset.
Absolutely.
It
That.
starts with the mind.
Yep.
It starts with the mind. I hear you say often how if we would stick with the word,
Mm-hmm.
it's a word or a term he uses. But the world says stay in your lane.
Yeah.
He says something else similar to what it is.
Okay.
The word of God is saying, if I line, that's what you say, line up.
Uh-huh.
Line it up with the word. If I allow God to show me how to line it up,
Uh-huh.
I will always stay in my lane to remember who I am and who I'm not.
Yeah. That's true.
Because it is sticking in mind.
Yeah.
I will become more obedient to his word. And that will show me how to walk in the fear of God.
And that's it. In this same book that we're reading in Proverbs, he speaks of the fear of God as the beginning of wisdom. He didn't say is wisdom. He said it's the beginning. That means that is one of the first things we should be doing is humbling ourselves under God. Listen, if I can sit in front of the boob tube, watch a game or movie for a couple hours, why come I can't get it to God alone for a couple hours? Hello. Which one drives me to do what I want to do? That's entertainment, right? Of the flesh. But when it comes to business for God, do you find yourself running to God like that? Most of the time we sluggish or, okay, no enthusiasm, no fear of what situation we already in. Because the flesh says, you're going to be all right. You got time. It ain't that bad. And they said, that's a problem too. They said. We forget what God said. Huh? The moment church is over sometime, we can drop the word of God. When that word of God should be so sweet and in us that when we get out of here, that's all what we want to talk about. We ain't got time to go back there and lollygag or go outside and lollygag and get our mind off of God. We go, Sister Diamond and them say, go home and see God. Let the word stay in there fresh. Do we do it? Do we? And now it's a habit. Right? Sometimes I just teasingly say, we can have church all over again. They ready to go then. Huh?
Where your heart is where your treasure will be found also.
Absolutely right. Yep. But we got to break those habits. I got to break mine. You got to break yours. You know some of your habits, don't we? And they have hindered us in progressing in God. Listen, it's the little foxes that destroy the vine. That's why I'm giving it to you like this for myself as well, because it's those little things that we don't think are adding up to big things. Huh? You let your gas be almost on E and you say, I got a little more time. And you say, I'll fill it up later. But then you never thought you'd be stuck in some traffic. And now you on E, what you thinking? Yeah, but what can you do now? Because you stuck in the middle. The only thing you can decide is I better cut it off. Now, if you cut it off in the middle of traffic, what's going to happen? Yeah. Somebody going to end up towing you or hitting you, right? So you caused a big issue, a situation that could have been avoided, but because I thought I had enough, I waited. Don't we think that in life? I thought I had enough time.